Hi, everybody. David Paparelli here. And before we get to our next guest, which I'm really excited for you guys to hear from, I wanted to give you a quick update. Our team is just getting back from the World of Coffee Dubai, and we hosted a live in Dubai, first of its kind auction in partnership with the DMCC Coffee Center. We auctioned off a limited quantity of 16 lots by 11 different producers representing 9 countries. We had producers from Panama, Hawaii, Bolivia, Colombia, Ethiopia, and it was so good to see all of these producers sharing the stage. These are truly some of the best producers in the world, and it showed with this incredible reception from the Middle East audience. The top lot actually went for $10,000 per kilo, which is absolutely crazy. I know a lot of you guys missed out on the Live in Dubai experience, so we wanted to do a follow-on auction on March 13th. So this will be global and online on March 13th. It will be an exclusive, limited quantity of the same lots that weren't auctioned off in Dubai, but the same producers, same lots, a quantity just for our global audience. And the sample sets are on sale now. So pick up your sample sets, register to bid, and we will see you on March 13th. Now on to our guest. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the live stage at the Dubai Coffee Auction. We're at the World of Coffee here, and today is the live auction day. And to bring us into the live stage, we have a very special guest here. He is known as Don Tulio in Colombia. That is a name given to him for discovering his passion in coffee as he was on vacation visiting a coffee farm there. Since then, he's built what sounds like a fully integrated supply chain from farm all the way to roastery in a global business that's actually pretty incredible. It's hard to be in one business as a coffee farmer. It's really hard to be in 5, 6, or 7. And he's all in on coffee, and he's all in on this auction too. So his lot will be on auction. The Pattaya Geisha will be on auction from Finca Don Tulio today, and then again on March 13th in a global online auction. But show up today for 1 kilo, chance to bid and register on 1 kilo of his fantastic coffee. We're actually cupping it in the cupping lab to our right here, right now. So please welcome Don Tulio.
Thank you, David. We are very happy to be here. It's an honor for us to be at the auction, and we are happy that you liked our coffee. We produce our coffee, we grow it in Colombia, as you mentioned, and we really grow our coffee with love. And our mission is, and the message we give to our customer is, drink our coffee with love. So we grow very good, high quality coffee, and we love to share that with our audience. So it is a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So first question I like to ask people, and we are, of course, at the World of Coffee Dubai. You've been here for a full 24 hours. Now, what's the best coffee you've had over the last day or so, besides your own, obviously? Have you had any standouts?
There are a lot of good coffee companies and growers here from all over the world. I respect everybody. I respect all the companies and the growers. We learn from each other. And what I really love is geisha. That's what I love. And I go from one stand to another one to try to see if they have geisha, and I try, because that's what I love. I think geisha is really the best coffee which exists at the moment.
Absolutely. So let's get into kind of the history, the roots of your original company, which is Colombian Exotics. So this is prior to your roasting brand, Finca Don Tulio, starting. So you went on vacation to visit a friend in Colombia, ended up on a coffee farm, ended up falling in love with that coffee farm and investing. You're from Holland, Persian descent, a worldwide. How did this walk us through that? How this happened? How did you end up in Colombia on a coffee farm with the background that you have?
I think we need a lot of time, some breakfast and lunch together to explain you the whole story because it's really a very long story. I went to visit a very good friend about 7 years ago, and then he told me there are a lot of good opportunities in Colombia for investments. And then he took me to some meetings, different sectors. And then the last day, I really had enough. I wanted to leave from Colombia. I said, look, it is okay. I want to leave. He said, please, one more meeting, one more meeting. I said, no. His name is Andres. I said, Andres, it is okay. Thank you very much for all the time, but I want to go back. He said, just this meeting is organized by a very good friend working for Colombian government. I said, okay. Then they took me to a coffee farm. I was not really interested because I had no connection with coffee at that time, except that I was just drinking Nespresso coffee. That was the best what I could have at the moment. And then the farmers, they saw me, kind of same outfit that I am right now. And then they said, what is he doing here? Why is he here for a meeting in coffee? And then they asked me, are you in the coffee business? I said, no. They said, do you have any experience in coffee business? I said, no. They said, so why are you here? I said, ask my friend. He organized a meeting for me. And then they were laughing. They said, forget about it. Let's just go for a tour in our farm and enjoy. And that was the trick. They took me to the farm. We went in the mountain. We went to very high, I think up to 2,000 meters. And then they show me around. We had coffee in the farm, fresh coffee, fresh brewed coffee. And it just opened my eyes. The landscape, the beauty, the culture. And I saw that they were picking coffee by hand and how they were caring about coffee. And then they took me what really was very interesting for me. They took me to the storage room to show me the coffee they had there, the bags. And then there was music, jazz music. And then I said, why is jazz music here in the storage room? No one is here. They said, it's for the coffee. I said, what do you mean it is for coffee? He said, because we feel that coffee is alive and we want that the coffee will have rest. We want that the coffee will enjoy. So they had 24 hours a day jazz music for coffee in the storage room. And that was something that I fell in love. I said, these people are amazing. And then everywhere inside the storage room, it was written, I love you. I love you, in different languages, in Chinese, in English, in Spanish. They were communicating with coffee, I love you. The way that they were just treating coffee, it was like they were treating their own kids, their own babies. So that is how I fell in love.
That's great. What were you doing before coffee?
I was a consultant before, working for PricewaterhouseCoopers for maybe around 12 years in the Netherlands. And then I moved to Dubai in 2006. I stopped working as PwC, and I saw Dubai is a very interesting and dynamic city. It was like I was working as a consultant and I was looking at myself and everybody, all the entrepreneurs, etc. It was like I was on a bicycle and everybody was on a private jet going fast. So I said, no, I need to change my life. So then I started to work, create a small companies. I failed a lot and I kept trying. I failed again. So maybe I failed 100 times. I did different things until I found my way to start a good, proper business here. And right now I have several companies with about 70, 80 people working for me.
Holy cow. So, I mean, I think the job of an entrepreneur is one of the few positions you could take that would be more hours in a week than PwC. So you really went the other way. Most people retire. You went all in.
To be honest, this is the best thing you said. It is all in. I am all in. So basically, I lost everything when I started to do my own business, everything I had. And then I kept trying. I always say I was fully on the water, not even my nose above water, but fully underwater. And I always make a joke and I say I had only one little straw that I could breathe underwater. But that situation helped me to really feel how hard it is. And I appreciate a lot the hard work I did to establish different businesses, to learn from my failures, and also the opportunity. You get a lot of good opportunities in Dubai. Dubai is a hard city to live. If you are good and you work hard, you can become a billionaire here. But if you don't, you better leave Dubai and go and live somewhere else. So you need to work very hard here if you live here, but the opportunities are there. Everybody can just reach the top, but it's up to you. And how far can you go? How often can you fall down and stand up and then move again? That's the key.
Yeah, with starting any new business, there's an element of grit. I can't imagine starting a lot, failing a lot, and then ending up with 5 businesses in your coffee farm. I can't imagine that's the least risky of your 5 businesses because coffee farming is such a difficult task. You kind of stumbled on this farm opportunity. You fell in love with it. Did you just luck out on ending up on this farm and finding good land, good varieties, good coffee? Because you could have visited another farm that was on its way to failure and you might not have known the difference.
It was the destiny. I met this family after the visiting of the farm. They took me to their home. And then I met everybody, the grandfather, the grandmother, father, kids, everybody. And then I saw how they took me in their place. They didn't know me. A guy, he lives in Dubai, coming from Netherlands, and he has no connection with coffee. But I saw that they really adopted me, and I fell in love with their culture and then the coffee. So it was for me a connection. So it was not about business at that time. I had a good connection. I felt like family. That was the point that I felt comfortable to start. And then I came back and I thought about it. I said, I like to give a try. I started to learn. I kept going back to Colombia. And then I started to create the company in Dubai, in DMCC. I created Colombian Exotic Coffee. I brought my coffee from Colombia to Dubai. We are selling all over Middle East. And then I created a company in Singapore, Colombian Exotic Coffee also in Singapore. And we are selling our green coffee to Korea, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. So we worked very hard to build a bridge between our farms and far customers. So in Middle East and Asia. So we built a very nice bridge from Colombia to Dubai and from Colombia to Singapore.
Wow. And so for your farm operation, you've learned a lot, it sounds like, about the coffee, the coffee supply chain. What have you learned about this farm that makes the coffee so unique and special? What are the attributes that go into growing that coffee that make it, what we're cupping today, which is this special lot on auction?
What you cup today is the story which I explained from the coffee which was in our storage room and had jazz music 24 hours a day and has a lot of words like I love you, and we really took care of this coffee. And I am sure when you drink that coffee, you will feel our love. I want you to really enjoy, take a time to drink the coffee and try to understand how much hard work we have done to create that coffee and bring it to your cup. Because farming is very hard. We work very hard. We have a lot of single moms working in our farms. We really like to support single moms because they have very small income and they have very hard life. They pick coffee by hand, they carry the coffee and they bring it, they process it. It's all by hand. We even sort the coffee by hand. It's unbelievable. But the coffee we sorted by hand. So we have a lot of the ladies there, and just one by one they're just sorting coffee by hand. And then after that we process it, and then after that all manually. And then it goes in our storage room with jazz music 24/7. And then we bring it to, we pack it, we bring it, we ship it, we put in climate controlled containers to keep the quality of coffee, move it from Colombia to Dubai and to Singapore. So how much care we put there is unbelievable.
I mean, there's an element of this that is, you just need a great team. You need passion for the subject. But you landed at a high altitude with great soil. I mean, can you talk a little bit about the features of the farm that make it perfect for growing coffee?
We have two type of farms. One is with a higher altitude for the specialty and exotic coffee, and the other one is lower, more for caturas and for espresso-based coffees. And also our harvests are different. We have harvests all over the year, throughout the year. One harvest is now. I am going to Colombia tomorrow night because our harvest start in our farm with a high altitude. And then the other one, we have the harvest in October, November. So the whole year we have fresh coffee. That is the interesting part of our farms.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, it is unique to Colombia in that way, that fly crop gives you, and then the length of the harvest season gives you fresh coffee all year round. You're running at least 3 different businesses in coffee, it sounds. So Colombian Exotic, the farm, and then the roastery. There's a lot of different people here at the World of Coffee Dubai representing all three of those businesses, those sales channels, those markets. I'd be curious from your perspective, as you've kind of entered into all these, what's the hardest business to be in? What's been the biggest challenge of your coffee career in what you've started?
Farming is very hard because it's not in your own hands. If the weather is good, you will have a good harvest. If the weather is challenging, like we had in 2021, 2022, we had very, very challenging years. We lost a lot. And now again, last year we had good weather, and this year. So it's also, you need to be a little bit lucky. So it's not everything in your own hands. So the farming side is very hard. And then again, we have something around 500 people working in our farms. We have about 1,000 hectares of land, and those people, they're looking at you. The weather is good or not, they need their salaries. So that part is really hard. And then after you have the coffee, it is less challenging. But one thing I want to move, I'm changing direction from green to roasted coffee for my own farms. I want to give the good quality coffee to coffee lovers, rather than to let my coffee to be blended with a lot of different origins, etc. I'm not trading coffee. I bring my own coffee. I'm a farmer. I bring my coffee from my own farm. I don't buy from other farms. I don't buy from other origins. Single origin, single farm. And I want to give this single origin, single farm coffee to people to love it. That's why I created Don Tulio. My farm in Colombia called also Finca Don Tulio. So Finca Don Tulio is a new brand in Dubai, and you will hear very soon about Finca Don Tulio. It will be just coffee shops with Finca Don Tulio, and we want only to give the love of our coffee, the good quality coffee to people. Good value, good quality. I want that everybody would be able to drink a specialty coffee. That's my mission.
Yeah, it's a beautiful mission and beautiful vision. and look forward to trying a cup of coffee from a Finca Don Tulio cafe sometime soon. Your history with PwC and then your entrance in coffee is interesting because I'm sure you carried from all the businesses you've started, from your experience, your past experience at PwC. I'm sure you've carried some of those skill sets, some of those learnings with you into coffee. We talk a lot about passion in coffee, right? People love coffee because it's something they consume, it's something they experience, it's tangible. They can be on a farm, they can smell it. It's this full experience, right? But what's talked about less is sort of the business of coffee, and I'd be curious on what you think about balancing business and passion in what you've done, and the importance of those business aspects of what you built.
Passion is really the right word and the only word for me to get into this business. I really fell in love with the farms and Colombian partners I met. That was for me the first step. So I built a relationship with them, and then I started to learn about coffee. And then more I learned, more I understood that I didn't know anything about it. And this passion brought me also to the point that I want to reduce selling green coffee, and I want to roast my own coffee and sell roasted to everyone who loves coffee with very, very, very good value. You used also a very good word, balance. I think there is a very good opportunity in the market in UAE for a company like us, like a farmer. I want as a farmer to give coffee to people, not as a commercial company. Right now, you pay maybe about $10 for a latte in some companies, in some brands in Dubai. For me, it's too much, to be honest. And I don't think everybody can afford. So my mission is I want to do something that everybody can enjoy a good cup of coffee. I want to come in the market with something with very good quality but excellent value. I studied markets in China. I studied the companies in China, what they are doing. You have different brands and different values, and I see that there is a market for everybody, for the best and highest quality and the lowest quality. But like me, there are only a few. Very high quality, but very, very good, affordable value.
Yeah. I mean, Colombia is a great country to target for kind of that better product, better price strategy. Did you find that to be true? What would be your, I guess, what are your major competitors when you look out into the market? Who are you facing down to kind of get your business to succeed and break through in Singapore and Dubai and these other markets? What's your uphill battle?
I studied and I learned a lot different brands. I can easily make Don Tulio coffee, expensive coffee. I can do that. And I create really excellent quality coffee. I grow really very good quality coffee. But I would like to bring something in the market that it's not there. Very high quality but very affordable. I always say I am Louis Vuitton in coffee business. I am. I really believe. I say Colombian coffee is the best coffee in the world. I really believe, and I always say to everybody, my coffee is the best coffee in the world. And I am very proud of it, and I challenge everybody. And what is interesting is to sell Louis Vuitton product, but very affordable. Because everybody goes for Louis Vuitton and very high value. I want to go for Louis Vuitton, but give very, very affordable value to everybody to enjoy it. But it's a long way for me to go. I just built the brand Finca Don Tulio, and I'm just at the beginning. We are at the roasting village here. We are just at the auction here. But believe me, you will hear from Finca Don Tulio in the future.
Yeah, why do you coffee is so much this way, where it does feel like so much good coffee, I won't say goes to waste, but it could be sold at a higher value potentially, right? Is that just a positioning problem? What's at the core of kind of people's expectations in the market that coffee should be the cheapest thing they consume, even if it's extraordinary quality? And we're noticing some changes in the market on that, but I'm curious on, why you think that is. Why is it established that way? Especially, I guess, your knowledge of the Dubai market, where in the Arab world, it is a staple in almost every home. There's a coffee expert in every home, right? So, yeah, talk a little bit about that for me. Why coffee is a Louis Vuitton but sold at I don't know what the brand would be over here, Marshall's, TJ Maxx, or whatever the box store brand would be for quality.
Because people in the Middle East, in Dubai, in UAE, they appreciate quality. And they appreciate also the story, the quality, the packaging. So for them, it's really very important. And they enjoy it. As you said, in the Arab world, they love coffee and they brew coffee at home, and the whole family drinks coffee. And they are also okay to pay good price for good quality coffee. But at the same time, UAE is a very diverse market. I think there are maybe more than 80% of expats living here from all over the world, and I think for the local UAE nationals here, there are a lot of good options with a lot of good top quality companies who provide great quality of coffee. But the other 80%. That's where I want to focus on. I want to go because from that 80%, 50% of them, they are not able to afford even a coffee for maybe $2.
Yeah.
50% of them. So my mission is a specialty coffee for all. So it's really very, very important for me to share. And I think for me as a farmer, I can also gain in that sense rather than selling my green coffee. If I sell my green coffee, just as an example, my cost price is about $6. I bring my coffee to Dubai, I spend about $1 for logistic. It will be $7. And then I spend about 50 cents for the warehousing, etc. It's 7.5. How much can I sell my coffee, green coffee, just a normal State Plus coffee? I can sell it at $9.5 to $10 per kilo. So that means that I make only $2, $2.50 profit per kilo for my coffee. Then I sell it to the roasteries. The roasteries, they roast, and then they sell it at maybe $18, $20 to the coffee shops. And then the coffee shops, they make maybe around 60 to 70 cups of coffee from 1 kilogram coffee. 60 to 70 cups. Even if you sell it at $3 per cup, it will be $210. Okay, the coffee shops, they have also the place, they have the staff, they have the rent, etc. But I am lost here a little bit about the balance. Me as a farmer, I take all the risk. The whole year, with 500 people in my farms, I grow coffee with all the risk of good weather, bad weather. One year I have no coffee, the other year I have better. The market price goes up, goes down, etc. I take all the risk. And then I come as a farmer, I take the lowest profit possible in the chain, the lowest possible profit in the chain. So there is no balance here. So my mission right now is that I want to roast my own coffee, sell the coffee with very good value. With that very low value, I can make very good, much better profit margin, which I can share again with my workers at my farms.
Mm.
So I can bring some of that again back to the farm in Colombia and share it with the people working very hard to grow that coffee.
Yeah, it makes sense. So, as a strategy, kind of this vertical integration of kind of moving from farm to importer to roaster, you're seeing that as sort of a more efficient way of managing costs all the way to the consumer and offering a better product at a better price. That's sort of the strategy there. Okay. And then why, you mentioned you guys have entered into the Singapore sort of market. Is it just Singapore? It's all of Asia, right?
Asia is a very interesting market when it comes to coffee. Korea and Japan, China. China right now is the biggest one. I am opening company in China right now because China has a population of 1.4 billion people, and then still only right now 20% Chinese are drinking coffee. Out of 1.4 billion, only 20% are drinking coffee. So all the coffee lovers, all the coffee companies, growers, etc., China is the right market. I was in China just a few weeks ago. I am going there again in 2-3 weeks. I'm opening company there, and I want to explore the market in China because there is a very good market there. Koreans, Japanese, they love good quality coffee, and they are also okay for paying good price for it. So the Asian market is very big and very fast growing when it comes to coffee. That is why we opened the company in Singapore, because Singapore is a hub. It's very good for logistic. So we bring the coffee to Singapore, and 90% of my coffee, I sell it to Japan, to Korea, and to Malaysia. Only 10% goes to the Singapore market because it's very small.
Yeah, so I mean, just like you work with DMCC as a member, you're working with Singapore sort of as a gateway into Asia, almost a free trade zone approach to get your coffee into these other countries. Is your approach to these different markets the same and consistent as it is in Dubai? Meaning, is it still better product, better price kind of approach, kind of getting the other 80%, as you called it, in the market to start drinking coffee and be able to afford and enjoy high quality coffee? Is that consistent across all of these markets, or do you take a different approach to Japan? You said they pay better prices. You take a different approach to Korea. Tell me about your approach to these different markets and these different clientele.
It is the same in those markets. I was in Korea at the fair, World of Coffee in Korea. I was in Japan. I speak with people there. And I see that also in those markets, people are not willing to pay very high prices when they go to the coffee shops. They can buy good quality coffee in the supermarkets for $1. You buy, the quality is okay. It's not excellent, but it's okay. 80% Japanese, they buy in the supermarkets or they buy from the vending machines. They have a lot of vending machines, very sophisticated vending machines, and they buy coffee from those machines or from the supermarket. So that formula is in all those countries. Also, the Koreans are the same. So there is a very good market in Asia for good quality but affordable value if you are able to do.
And when you look out for your business over the next kind of couple years, do you see any particular market as a great fit for what you're doing that will be sort of the next, maybe, I don't know, maybe it will be UAE, but the next of that? Where do you think you'll be the best fit?
China. China is next level. For many reasons. Population and the interest of Chinese people to move from tea drinking population to coffee drinking. and only 20%, 30% right now are drinking coffee. They have brands that they have more than 20,000 stores all over China, but still is a very big market over there for coffee companies, for coffee growers, traders, coffee shops. China is absolutely the next for me. The next few years, my focus for coffee will be China.
What do you, as you enter into this new, well, you've studied the Chinese market a good bit, it sounds like, enough to be able to kind of forecast and anticipate potential challenges in entering the market. What do you think are going to be the major challenges in entering the new market for you as China?
China is very hard because China, they are also growing coffee inside China. At the same time, you cannot just export coffee to China. If your company is not registered there, or if the buyer is not registered, and also your company is not registered, they have a lot of rules for importing coffee into China. So you need to do your homework properly. You need to establish a company. You need to register your company. You need to have import codes there, etc. And they have a lot of rules, documentations, compliance, etc. to import. But the import tax is quite low. For green coffee, they only charge around 8% per kg, which is very reasonable. And then if you just follow the rules, you will be good to enter. But then you need also to have a good team there to develop the business in China. But Chinese people are interested. If you have good models, good companies, good products in coffee, you go there. There is very good market there for everybody.
Talk about your team for a second here. You brought this up. So finding the right people to run, I mean, these kind of really complicated international businesses, people that can do green coffee importing almost anywhere in the world, your team in Colombia, your team in China. How do you go about finding good team members, and then how do you go about keeping them?
When I meet people, I try to find out if they have passion for what they want to do. If I find passion in them, then I will invest in them. Even if they don't have the knowledge, I will support them. I will help them, because the knowledge will come, but the passion, you cannot push passion in somebody. So passion, you have it or you don't have it. If you have the passion, you're at the right address with me. You don't have the passion, even you are very knowledgeable, I'm sorry. So for me, if I find good people with good knowledge, passion, good personality, then I will fully support them.
Yeah, on the passion segment, because I'm curious about some of this. I've done a good amount of work in Latin America myself and East Africa, and does passion for you supersedes sort of skill set knowledge, because that will come. You can train that. You can't train passion, but you find passion. What about sort of the intricacies of cultural norms or different cultures? Does passion sort of supersede that and help you overcome, the cultural friction between working in these different places, or is that a constant battle for you as well?
I have a team here from Russia, from Colombia, Uganda, China, Philippines. So basically, I have maybe 5-6 people. Nepal, only 6 people I have here, and each of them from different culture, different nationality, different background. Because I believe in multicultural teams, because they can learn from each other and they can add value in the teamwork.
Yeah. How do you structure those teams so you're spending enough time in person with everyone to be able to keep everyone moving in the same direction and kind of understanding your vision? What have you done to, enable that in such a global team?
I took my team a few times to Colombia. So it is also a big investment to take all your team out there to Colombia and show them around, take them to the farm, show them the process of coffee, how we grow coffee, and talking to the farmers, talking to people there. I think I also we have different levels, so I ask them to support each other, to pass knowledge to each other, to coach each other, and also I send them to courses, and if we can invite somebody to come to teach them in different ways, we will do that. So I invest in knowledge of my team.
Yeah, and it I guess investing in that time together too, because I mean, getting people out to Dubai for conferences like this, getting them to Colombia, it's time, it's money, it's everything, right? It's a big investment, but it sounds like it's paid off for you in major ways.
Yeah, because also we can see that we can support all kind of customers. We have a very good team that no matter where the customer is coming from, we can help them, we can support them, because also sometimes communication is a barrier, sometimes culture is a barrier. I had a very difficult time to do business in Korea, for example. It took me 1 year to build a connection, relationship with Koreans. It was, you see a lot of nice Korean dramas, and you think everybody in Korea, they are very, very, very warm, and then it will be very easy. They are very warm, but when it comes to business, they are very, very tough. Also, Chinese market is extremely tough. In Korea, it took me 1 year. I don't know China. China, I'm going to start. Japan is, again, it's a different level for the cultural differences. I say, okay, I come from Colombia, and then I say, okay, you want coffee? You pay me first, I give you coffee. They say, no, give me coffee first, and then I pay you. So then the story of chicken and egg, and good luck in that. It's but we manage, we build relationship, and I invest a lot of time in building relationship and trust.
Yeah, I mean, part of I think being an entrepreneur is the resilience, as you put it, and there's always a little bit of impatience, I might call it. Some might also refer to that as anxiety, but there's a little bit of impatience that you have to move to the next level in order to breathe through that small straw as you're swimming underwater. Cash is oxygen. You need to get business going in order to survive. And so you have to have a level of impatience. How do you balance, the kind of impatience of I need to get things going with knowing that, hey, I'm going to open the Korean market and it's just going to take a year, or opening the Japanese market is just going to take 2 years, or Chinese market, who knows how long? How do you kind of continue to forge forward and balance with that impatience to get into these other markets? What do you do with your team, or what do you do within your role to kind of keep that going?
The life experience, because I experienced very tough times. As I mentioned, I was completely, when I started my own business, completely on the water. And many people around me, they said, Sharam, you are a consultant, you are ex-PwC. Why you don't go back to the consulting world? Just go to PwC, which at one level I considered. I talked to PwC Holland. They said, come back to Holland. Why are you in Dubai? We will arrange everything for you. Get on the plane, come back. And again, they sent me a contract. And I thought about it because I was 3 years working very hard to become an entrepreneur, and I was failing. And I lost everything, to the point that I thought even my wife and my kids, they will leave me. Because people, they said, okay, you tried 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, you're not an entrepreneur, stop it. But I didn't give up. I learned in a very hard way that you should not give up if you believe in something. And then the miracles will happen. That's my message.
What point in so you went to work for PwC. What point did you know that you were kind of born? It sounds like you were almost born to be an entrepreneur. Like, this is something that you had in you in order to go through this. Isn't something trained. At what point did you know, hey, I'm not made for the corporate environment. I'm made for something else. I need to go do this. What made you take that leap?
When I started to work at PwC, I was still studying at university in Holland, and so I was a student. And during they called me junior associate. So during my first evaluation with a partner and my coach and a senior manager, the partner asked me at the end. He said, "What do you see in yourself in the next 5-10 years in PwC?" That was the only question he asked me. And then his name was Ruud. I said, "Ruud, I like to become a partner." And I was a junior associate, just 3 months there. And then he started to laugh. You think it's so easy to become a partner in PwC? I said, Ruth, if you can become a partner in PwC, probably I could also. And he said, I like you. I like you. And that's, yes, you are right. I think it is, entrepreneurship is maybe inside you. So I had it inside me. But the point is, when do you think that you're ready to take the step? Because it's a lot of risk also. When I started to start for myself, my wife, she was pregnant. She was a crew, so she had to stop working as a cabin crew. And then I had some savings. I thought that I can do it. I thought I am smart. I thought I can manage everything. I would work with PwC. I have a lot of experience about consulting. I was going to multinational companies and give them advice how they can do better. And then I started to do for myself, and I understood I didn't know anything about being an entrepreneur. That's why I kept failing. And I think the key is that you should not be scared to take steps, and you should not be scared to fall. Since I started my coffee business, I failed a lot. For the past 7 years, I failed a lot. I lost a lot, but I didn't give up. I keep going. And I know that the bright future will be there.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard. And the other thing that I recognize in your story that I think is meaningful is that you did have a lot, so you had a lot to lose as well. So it wasn't a fall from, nothing to nothing. It was a fall from, hey, I've got a good life, dual income with my wife, working at PwC down to zero as a pretty large gamble. I think it's really hard for people to take a level of risk to break those. I mean, call them golden handcuffs that PwC puts you in on the partner track. So you had to break away from that to go start these businesses and try. I think in some ways it's all hard, but I think in some ways that's almost more difficult to do than just, out of necessity, I need to start a business to get my family to a different level, right?
Yeah, I think if you believe in something, it doesn't matter how hard it is, you can achieve it. I always say you don't need to be a doctor to run a hospital. So you can always learn. Like coffee, I had no knowledge about it. But I say proudly I am a farmer right now. I'm a coffee farmer, and I'm very proud of it. And I love to pass my knowledge to everybody. It doesn't matter, is my competitor, is a friend, or somebody I know, I don't know. If somebody love coffee, I will share my passion with them about coffee. Mm-hmm. If I see that they are drinking coffee with milk, I say, stop it. Drink good quality coffee. You don't add milk to good quality coffee, because then you lose that flavor. You lose everything that the farmer worked so hard to bring to that cup. You put milk on it, then all is gone. So just drink pure quality coffee, one good quality coffee per day, and really enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I have to ask about this auction a little bit, because this is the first time we've interacted. So I am curious on, the Dubai coffee auction and your participation in this. Can you tell us why was it such a fast yes to participate in this event? And kind of that, a little bit of that story of why be here, why put your lot on auction here?
We have very good relationship with DMCC. And DMCC, they have supported us throughout the last 5-6 years. And they are always there. We have our coffee. We store our coffee in Jebel Ali, in Coffee Center. They are very professional, good team. We have very good relationship with them. And then when they suggested to us and asked us, do you have a good quality coffee for the auction? Immediately, I said to my team, check our warehouse. What do we have? If we don't, I will bring from Colombia, from our farm. I don't care, but I want to be there. So it was an opportunity for us. It was an opportunity, and for us to put our brand here, to put our coffee here, to explain to people about who we are, like this conversation me and you we have together. All this came because we managed to bring a good quality coffee, and we hope that people, they will like it, and that could be a beginning for more auctions in the future for us.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for trusting us with your coffee and the partnership there. I do ask this question at the end of most of these interviews because I'd like to hear kind of what are you hopeful for, optimistic about, or looking forward to in specialty coffee over the next kind of 5 to 10 years?
More diversity, I think. In coffee, I think my concept of being a farmer and bring my coffee to the cup, that is a very unique concept, in my opinion. And I don't think there are many farmers that they can do that. But when I go to Colombia and I share that with other farmers, they love it. They say, yes, we can also give you our coffee. Bring our coffee also. We want to give our, because right now they work the whole year. They have the coffee. The traders, they come to the farm. They take everything away. So all the name of the farm, the value, the identity, everything get lost for all the hard work they do. And then they get maybe 50 cents, $1 profit margin on their cost price. Sometimes, and sometimes even lower. Depends on the market value. So what do I see in the next 5-10 years? I think I can make a statement, if personally, make a statement that to show that it is possible to bring and share amazing quality of coffee, but very affordable. That's my mission for the next 5-10 years. And I hope I can prove that with Don Tulio.
Amazing. Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for contribution to the industry and what you're trying to prove out. I think there's a lot to learn from the model that you've built and you continue to build, and certainly a lot to learn from the resilience, the grit of your entrepreneurial spirit, and kind of powering through to get to something that is hopeful and optimistic for the future of specialty coffee. You know, better product and better price. I'll certainly remember that. So thank you, Don Tulio.
Thank you, David. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the trust. And I hope we will be in many auctions going forward.
I'm sure we will.
Thank you very much.
All right, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.